What is up, guys? Welcome back. You know, Amanda left in a hurry this morning and that's all kinds of disheveled. I'm working on this being the new filming backdrop. This focus, it like only wants to be on me if I'm in the center of the frame. I'm just trying to understand my camera. Okay, well that's 26 seconds down. How's it going, guys? I know that Wednesday's video was a little on the heavy side, subject matter wise, so if you haven't checked that out and still want to donate, go check that out. But today I figured I would keep it a little on the lighter side with probably one of the most basic video concepts that there is, a good old-fashioned Empties, and we would just vibe together on a Friday, hang out. So the beauty of an Empties video is it's stuff that I have finished, and so I have all my thoughts together on it as to whether or not I'm going to repurchase it. And I really saved them up this time. The last Empties that now is that true, Kackie? I want to say the last Empties that I did was right before I moved. That is not true because I remember I have already said this. You know, people think I'm a stoner. I wish that was the explanation. My brain's just like not always in the building. That's the truth. So yeah, I got this whole bag over here and I'm gonna talk about all the stuff that I have finished in the last few months. So let's jump in. Can you tell I'm a little bit overcompensating today? But like, come on! It's so easy when you have like Pat McGrath lip glosses hanging around. Like, how do you not let that color inspire an entire like caramel look? This is faux real. And whenever I put it on, I'm like, Lisa Rinna who? Yep. Yeah, so that's the vibe today. I will never remember that happened. So when I'm looking for that lip gloss again in the future, pop me a comment. Let me know what I did. All right, not first and foremost, just first that I pull out of the bag, we've got some Aesop Resurrection Aromatique Hand Wash. It's sentimental to me because when Mike and I took a trip to Amsterdam, this was in the bathroom of our Airbnb and we both really liked it. I love the packaging. It's a very viral, bougie staple for the aesthetic bathroom, you know? I do have the lotion as well, which I'm like this close to finishing. It's $96, but I did find that because it's 17 ounces, it is actually much more cost effective than the other lotions that I had been using. Regardless, we're not talking about the lotion today. This is wonderful. We keep this in every single bathroom, and it's one of those things that like I didn't realize was really important to my husband until I was like, hey, I'm gonna go pick up some hand soap. He's like, get some more of that Aesop stuff. And I'm like, they don't sell that at Target. And he's just like, well, get some more of that Aesop stuff. So like I have to, you know, order it on Revolve. Revolve, by the way, ships like overnight. It's amazing. Or at least they did in Texas. I don't know about now. But either way, I almost always buy this either on Nordstrom or Revolve, whoever has it in stock. And I already have backups on my backups of this. I should tell you guys what it smells like if you've like never, it's very lemony, like very citrusy, which is very clean, but it's like a vegetal kind of lemon. It's not Dawn. You know, it doesn't smell like faux dish detergent or something. And I'm a big citrus fan. It's very gender neutral. It's very just like clean and fresh smelling. And then it's got a little bit of something minty in it. So it says mandarin rind, rosemary leaf, and cedar atlas. And for someone who doesn't really like Caesar, let's begin again. As someone who doesn't really like cedar, because I'm not a big fan of like woody notes, I find them to be kind of overwhelming, this doesn't really have a lot of that. It doesn't linger. It's not real bassy, manly, you know, Abercrombie and Fitch. It's very, very nice. So yes, I have backups on my backups of this, and this will now go into recycling. By the way, anything that cannot be recycled, you know, we all know that plastic recycling is a big joke, but either way, whatever can't go into recycling proper will go into my TerraCycle box, which by the way, a lot of people ask, or like, how far have you gotten on your TerraCycle box? I got like the big $285 guy, $215 guy, whatever, that's like yay high, and I have filled it like this much in like 2 years, so you don't need one that big. Next, what have we? Oh man, people always joke and make fun of Empties videos because they're like, it's all just skincare and hair care. Like, I want to know about makeup Empties. Like for that, talk to people doing project pans and stuff like that. But I don't have to empty an item of makeup to know my thoughts on it. These I tend to go through so much faster, but I will argue that it is not just hair care and skincare. It's mostly sunscreen for me, and I am an affiliate slash on the PR list for Supergoop. I have been for years and years. It's one of my favorite PR lists, but someone did tell me that they are doing pop-ups in like mainland China now. I don't know the details of that as it pertains to their cruelty-free status, but at the time of using this, that had not happened yet. Regardless, this is the Supergoop Play SPF 50 Everyday Lotion. I have had the small container. I have moved to the medium container. I've had several of the medium container. Now I have the 18-ounce pump because it's the best sunscreen for outdoor water things. It's very, very water resistant. It's very effective as a sunscreen, and it lasts a long time. It's 80 minutes in the water, 2 hours outside the water, or if you're not sweating, sorry, I think I have like a hair stuck to my face, and it lasts about as long as my memory span of being like, I should put on some sunscreen. So like I've worn this all summer and never gotten a sunburn. So as long as I reapply every 2 hours, which I'm like never outside for 2 hours at a time in the middle of summer, no way. So this stuff is amazingly effective, and I already have, again, like a huge pump bottle. Okay, next. In my pursuit for a good moisturizer that actually moisturizes my skin, I did end up going back to the Ultra Repair Cream from First Aid Beauty, even though I find that my skin doesn't 100% love it. It likes it for moisture, but open skin, which it says that it's supposed to be for, doesn't love the eucalyptus in this. I find that if I use it in the winter time on like a chapped nose, it does not improve the situation whatsoever. But I did use this all the way through spring and early summer. This is a very cost-effective product because this is 6 ounces and I don't think it's super expensive for skincare. It is the best that I've come across in terms of a garden variety actual moisturizer that will rehydrate my skin when it's in trouble. Now, what have I actually been using? A lot of people are like, what's your skincare routine? I'm like, dude, I don't really feel at liberty to, or not at liberty, but like entitled to share my skincare routine when my skin is this bad, It's like, oh yeah, I use my skincare routine so you can be really frustrated too. But the one thing that I have actually been resorting to and totally loving is just instead of doing all of my like oils and moisturizers and everything like that, I just have a bottle of organic hemp oil that I got as like a gift with purchase from Typology, and I've been spreading it all over my entire body, including my face. And it's super helpful. It works great. It does make my hair a little greasy. I think that I have like traced my greasy hair problem to that new routine. Yeah, probably. But it is really, really good for balancing my skin out. I'm just kind of trying to bring her back to equilibrium, my skin, my microbiome as it were, because I got KP on my back, I got acne on my face, I got retinol and all these other things in play, putting sunscreen on, different sunscreens, and I think that I have just thoroughly confused my body, my full organ of skin on the outside of my body, and I just thought like, let's just unify my efforts, just go with something that works. I used to have a huge thing of organic hemp oil that ended up like leaking all over the inside of my cabinet, so I had to throw it out, but it was something that I really, really liked. I actually enjoy the smell of it too. It again is a very kind of vegetal smell. I'm not sure I would order it again from Typology other than the fact that the bottle's really pretty, so, and Typology's not that expensive. Anyway, have I repurchased this? No. Will I repurchase this? Maybe. Probably. It's a pretty cost-effective product, and it does a pretty good job, but it's like never gonna be a perfect standalone for me. Don't you hate when you have to keep buying imperfect products because you can't find the perfect product? Okay. I couldn't not put this in there because this is like some kind of badge of honor. What is that? Those are Tuck's medicated cooling pads with witch hazel. also known as hemorrhoidal pads. They are basically like these soaked rounds with witch hazel on them that they give you postpartum for hemorrhoids because, you know, you shove a baby out of you in a lot of cases, and things also happen when you're kind of forcing your muscles down there in that area. And this is wonderfully cooling, unless it's not for you. For some people, their skin is very sensitive to witch hazel and they're like, oh, that makes me feel like my privates are on fire. But for me, it was wonderful. And then, I don't know how many of you guys remember this or have been following me this long, but I was in the emergency room a few months ago because I had been put on an antibiotic that was too overwhelming for my system. It wiped out my gut flora and gave me colitis. And I had to go into the emergency room for rehydration. So I went through all that was left over postpartum and bought a new one. They're magical if that's what you need. It's like such a specific need, but man, if that's what you need, they really do the trick. So yeah. Function of body, function of beauty. They put the fun in function. Yeah, you know, this is the body wash and it's fine. It's fine. I have lots and lots of credit on their website, and so I use their stuff because it's technically free for me. So that is why I do that. This is the vanilla scent. I'm sorry, milkshake. And you know, it's fine. I don't love their shampoo and conditioner. I have stopped using those, but their body wash and lotion are really nice. My mother is in love with the peach scent, so that one's really nice too, but I am a fan of the milkshake. And you know, when I put this in the closet as an empty, it looked empty, and like since then it's all kind of fallen to the bottom. I guess that there's a little bit more for me to use now. That's kind of funny. Anyway, like, do I recommend it? Not really. For all of the influencers who are sponsored by Function of Beauty and the amount of times I have talked about Function of Beauty on my channel, I was like one of the first people on the entire platform to review Function of Beauty because someone requested it right when they first came out. I've never been offered a sponsorship with them. No. I don't even have a real affiliate deal. I just have an like unlimited referral program. Versed sent me this. This is their Day Dissolve Cleansing Balm. I'm having trouble reading that because it literally, the dissolve is dissolving. This is really, really nice. It smells like clove oil and it is mentholatum-y smelling, which may or may not be your thing. It might be an improvement on some of the other ones. Some of them smell kind of funky. But my main stipulation for a cleansing balm is just that does it remove my makeup and does it rinse, like turn into a milk when I hit it with water and actually rinse clean? Those are my only stipulations. This, I believe, is a very inexpensive product just because it's from Versed. They did obviously send me this. I've enjoyed it greatly. It's actually very soft. It's not like a really, really hard balm like, I don't know, some of the other ones are. The other thing that I have had a big hang up about, like the in-key list just sent me a ton of stuff that it's gonna take me a long time to like try and understand and stuff, but it's super generous of them. But the first thing that I tried from them was their cleansing balm because Hannah Louise Poston loves it so much. I was so disappointed because it doesn't turn to a milk. It doesn't rinse clean. Like you have to then wash it off with something that emulsifies it, which to me personally defeats the purpose. So loved this. I will still continue and I have backups of the Good Molecules because it's just as good, you know? That's just my, you know, one of choice, but this is, if you're like at Target or something and you're like, is that good? It's really good. It's very, very good. I used it all the way up and it lasted a long time. Oh boy. I should like check my orders and see when I bought this because I want to know how long I actually have had it. But this is the Kosas Sport Chemistry Fragrance Free AHA Serum Deodorant. I'm going to just search my inbox and see if I have this order. I purge my inbox from time to time, and that's definitely among the emails that would have gotten filtered for purging. But regardless, I don't know when I think I bought this pretty much right when it came out, and it has lasted me that long. It's funny because it says 24 fluid ounces, which is not possible, so I'm guessing it's actually 2.4 fluid ounces, but it lasts ages. I will say my canned spiel about this. I figured out through the Lumi deodorant and through the Drunk Elephant deodorant that the active ingredient in this is mandelic acid, and that is what really, really works to keep me from stinking. So it doesn't stop me from sweating. It's not an antiperspirant. I'm not that big of a sweater, so that's not, just to let you know, it's not a big concern of mine, but I am kind of a stinker. And so this has changed my life and been fantastic. And then when they just did this re-release of the Kosas Sport Lip Fuels, they also sent me the new body wash and a fresh one of these, which is the scented version. I was afraid of the scented version. It is so nice. It's so clean, and like you can't even really put your finger on what the smell is. It's like not citrusy, it's not flowery, it's just like fresh. And I will continue using that. So yes, I already have a refill, and had they not sent that to me, I just would have bought this one again. So excellent, like so excellent, so effective, lasts forever. So seldom when I'm on like a holy grail, Camelot, what am I trying to say, type journey, where I'm actually trying to find the perfect version of something, do I actually feel like I arrive at the perfect version of something and I don't have to keep looking. The reason I went with this is because it's clear. The other ones I was referring to that have mandelic acid in them are creams, they're kind of icky, and they talk about like priming your pits and all this stuff. Ain't no priming my pits, no time investment up front or anything, you just put it on and it works. And that is why I love it, so. Worth my money, all day, every day. The only other person who I have heard of this brand from is actually State of Kate. This is Athena Club. This is the Cloud Shave Foam. It's a very nice shave foam. Smells good. Smells kind of funny, like very like reminiscent of something that I can't put my finger on. It's like a little bit sweet, but it also, it smells foamy. I don't know. It's like familiar in that sense. Like whatever it smells like is also foamy. These are the things I don't know. I honor too many of my thoughts by speaking them out loud, and that's one of them. So anyway, yeah, I liked it. I think that this company's pretty cost effective, but they sent this to me and I was just using it because they sent it to me kind of thing. You know, they also sent me like makeup wipes and stuff like that, and I'm like, ugh. Like I can't get behind a company who's like, we're just gonna whack-a-mole every single thing, including makeup wipes. Like, can you make a statement and just not put makeup wipes out, okay? That's why I keep this around, and like little wipies is because this is the Glossier Milky Oil. Don't use makeup wipes. Oh, another aluminum can. Wow, this has made an appearance in just about every empty I've ever done. So this is the Perk Up Dry Shampoo from Amika. I always bought this because I had a cosmetology license in Texas. I still maintain the one in Texas, but I don't have one here because it's really hard to get one. I've applied for one in Pennsylvania, but I think they looked at my application. They were like, haven't heard anything from them. And so I didn't repurchase Amika specifically. I just went with Dry Bar because that was what they had on Amazon. And I bought it with Amazon points, you know? So yeah, I mean, it's a perfectly good dry shampoo, but at full price, it's kind of pricey, and I figured for that price, I would try something different. This is an empty bottle of Curology. It is my current formula, not my pregnancy formula. My pregnancy formula took the clindamycin out because it is an antibiotic that apparently is not approved for, you know, pregnant nursing women. And they replaced it with Perithion Zinc, which is like an antifungal. Then they put the clindamycin back in it for me now, and it's fine. I have refrained from using it lately because I'm not supposed to use another skin medicine while I'm on this retinol treatment that I'm doing. I will end up eventually going back to this. Curology does work, and if it stops working, I can go to my appointed skincare specialist, you know, that they pair me with through Curology, and be like, hey, it's not working. And they'll be like, oh, okay, like what can we do? So, you know, I'm still on the plan. I'm just going to probably end up with like an extra bottle lying around because I've stopped using it for a month. Next. Ooh, boy. You know, it's an accomplishment when I finish one of these, but I do use this more often than is recommended because it's so good. It is the Thrive Overnight Sensation Mask, and it is just packed full of goodness. I will say they have halved the size of the packaging and halved the price, plus I think like $1 or $2 or whatever. This was $62, and I think it is like $34 now for the half size just because packaging. But I think It's my guess that they did that because they realized this was such a generous amount of product that it was expiring before people were getting through it. And the whole point of this is the efficacy of these really, really beautiful, potent ingredients. When I say I've had trouble finding a moisturizer that my skin will actually like drink in and heal from, this is not a moisturizer by any means. It actually has like a pretty like funky, almost tacky texture if you put too much of it on. And so you're gonna be aware of it. It's not something that's like really, really like comfortable to wear, but it's so pretty. It's really dewy, and it does have like a little bit of like an iridescent sheen to it. And there was a time in my life where I was using this every single night. I might go back to that, honestly, because it is actually it's like a forgiveness mask. It's one of the only things that will heal my skin overnight when I, not, obviously, make it completely disappear, but like it will really do a good job of healing a zit that I have picked or something like that if I wear this overnight. And it just makes you wake up to like this kind of really pretty sparkly thing on your face. And one of my friends through the platform, Sarah, said that that sparkly thing, that iridescence that's on your skin when you wake up in the morning reminds you to do your morning skincare, because a lot of us are at home all day right now and it'll be like 4 o'clock and you're like, did I wash my face? And no, I didn't brush my teeth, So little hidden gem there, but yes, I have already repurchased the new one, the smaller one. Okay, so I've fallen in love with this. This is the Tower 28 SOS Save Our Skin Daily Rescue Facial Spray. When I ran out of this, I realized that I couldn't live without it, mainly because it is actually such an effective setting mist. It does a great job of really melting my makeup, which I do not know how it's doing that. Maybe hypochlorous acid has that kind of effect to it because there's no glycerin in this or anything. It does such a good job of like making my makeup look really, really finished and nice, but also not mattified. And it also is very good for my skin. Hypochlorous acid has been proven to for its anti-inflammatory purposes, for eczema and things like that. I don't have eczema. Ugh, what is happening here? I don't have eczema, but I do have stressed skin. And it does really help. And I use it basically over my makeup and every single night before I go to sleep. I can feel the sun moving and the light changing in here, so I really apologize. It's probably like throwing my white balance out of whack, like left and right. Left, right, and center. Ugh. Things that are too expensive for me to justify repurchasing. I don't know, I think that I meant to get another one of these at the Sephora sale, and then I just like woke up one day and the Sephora sale was over and I was like, what happened? I will definitely replace this during the next Sephora sale, which is sneaking up on us quickly. This is the Lila B A Glow Face Mist. It took me ages to warm up to this because I was like, it's so expensive, it smells like lavender, it's stupid. And man, every time I used it, I was just like, oh, it's really good, it makes my makeup look fantastic. So I will be repurchasing this, but I'm gonna wait until it's on sale. It's so good. It's so good, but it's $48. Yeah, fam, that's empty. This huge container is empty. I went through this so fast because it's so good. This is the Good Molecules Glycolic Exfoliating Toner. This took over the Ren Exfoliating Toner, the lactic acid one. As soon as I got a hold of it, I was just like, this is super effective. Did a really, really good job with my acne as well. I love glycolic acid. I also love lactic acid. There are very few acids that like do bad things to my skin. A lot of them do nothing. Hyaluronic acid does nothing. And yes, I know all of the proper ways to use hyaluronic acid, but it's just hilarious. My skin's just like, what was that? This was incredible, and I went through it so flipping quickly. I remember like putting it on a cotton pad and I was like, because I was like, there's no way that's gone already. Yeah, it was. So I will repurchase this. I think this is $14. Good Molecules is so affordable, and they're at Ulta now. I will repurchase this as soon as I finish with the Ren one, and all of that stuff, all my actives have been on hold since I've been on the retinol, because I just don't want to do too many actives and like destroy my moisture barrier. Been there, done that, no thank you. So that is why I haven't repurchased this, but when it comes time, this will be the one that I repurchase, the Glycolic Exfoliating Toner. It's so excellent, not just for the money. Like, it's just really excellent. So I went through like a dozen moisturizers trying to find a good moisturizer, and I've, you know, ultimately landed on just putting hemp oil all over my face. This is the Ultra Rich Moisturizer from Paula's Choice with coconut oil and shea butter. For dry to very dry skin, locks in moisture for 12 hours, relieves extremely dry, tight skin. No, it doesn't. I mean, it's fine, but it's not by any means like the nuclear option that I need. And that is also the reason that I'm kind of trying to bring my skin back to some kind of equilibrium where it can take care of itself. I've heard these rumors that your face gets like addicted to moisturizer or something and it stops producing its own oils, or like, I don't know, but again, I just kind of wanted to like unconfuse my face because I feel like I've done a real number on her in the past year since being pregnant. I'm just like, I don't know, try this. My skin's like, stop, just decide on something for like a second. But this, it had this like silicone-y vibe to it. I really don't know if this has silicone in it. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The 6th ingredient is dimethicone. And I could really tell because it just does have a very silicone-y vibe to it that made it, even though it has all those supposedly very quenching and nourishing oils, I feel like it just kind of sat on top of my skin. It made it very smooth, and I feel like that's the same thing that I'm noticing with the Glossier Priming Moisturizer Rich. When they crack my head open when I die and they look at all the information that's stowed away, the file containing specific long-form names of different makeup and skincare products will be astounding. They'll be like, well, that's where all her disk space was. Because yeah, the fact that I keep all those things like on my flash memory is wild. So anyway, 2 fluid ounces, not a bad price, I don't think. I don't remember how much it is, but Paula's Choice is fairly affordable. This was like nothing to write home about. Like I need so much more from a moisturizer than this, so it was a pass. This already feels like ancient history. This is the Sunday Riley Lighthearted Broad Spectrum SPF 30. The main thing they got wrong here, well, besides the fact that it won't disappear on a lot of skin tones, is the packaging. Like, you open this up and you're like, oh, I'm just gonna squirtle, and it just goes because it's super runny. Like, look at how gross that is. I should do like a content warning. Like, look at all the crap that's stuck to it because it just oozes out. It just runs out without any of your permission, and it is the color of Pepto-Bismol. And so when you put it on your skin and you're rubbing it in, you're like, yep, this is sort of rubbing in for me. My little white girl. Like, you know that that's gonna leave this really, really hazy kind of gray pink thing on any other skin tone. And I just feel like this was a flop. Like, it made me sad because Sunday Riley does some really, really good skincare, right? And then they tried their hand at makeup a couple of times and it was like, womp, womp. And they're like, well, let's try sunscreen. And it's like, womp, womp. And I don't dislike a lot of sunscreens. I'll be honest, like, it's pretty easy to get me to like a sunscreen because I don't mind if it's dewy, I don't mind if it's matte, I don't mind if it's chemical, I don't mind if it's mineral, I don't mind if it's white because I'm white. Like, you know, and it doesn't mean I'm gonna recommend it to everybody. I'm just saying, like, it's pretty hard to annoy me with a sunscreen, and this was just kind of annoying. And it smells like tempera paint. Or like, do you remember when you were a kid and like, you know, you're like playing, maybe this is a Southeast thing, maybe the limestone rock isn't the rocks that are everywhere where you live, but in the southeastern United States, we have a lot of limestone, and the gravel at like my grandparents' house, you know, was made out of whatever was readily available, which was all these, you know, broken up pieces of limestone. And so we would, you know, draw with them on the concrete and crack them together, maybe put them in our mouths when we were little and stuff like that. And it is just so reminiscent of that smell, that like, that weird limestone smell. And then there's like a fragrance on top of that. So I don't hate this. I just think that it was a fail from the standpoint of like setting up our expectations. Like, this is gonna be a Sunday Riley sunscreen. It's gonna be amazing. And it just wasn't. Okay, this was, I don't really know where this came from. Like, why I have this as a sample. I don't order from anywhere that would send me samples. You know what? That's not true. Nordstrom, they don't ever get your consent. They're just like, here's a baggie full of baggies. Like, just, what? One time, Nordstrom sent me 2 boxes, one with what I ordered, and the other one completely empty, save for a baggie full of baggies. And I was like, Nordstrom! I believe that this came in a Nordstrom order. This is the IGK First Class Charcoal Detox Dry Shampoo. I used this in a pinch. I believe I have bought this and returned this before because the smell is a decision. That was a choice. And they're trying to make the choice for you, how you're gonna smell today. And as someone who really likes to express herself through her daily fragrance choices, I do not like when someone usurps my power of choosing my scent for the day. And this is very like cologne-y. You know, it smells like I just got my hair done, which might be some people's vibe, you know? Where you just left the salon and you kind of want to keep feeling the magic, but like using it every day. I remember my husband walked in and he was like, what? And this is also from a man who every time I say, what do you think about my perfume? He says, I wish you were wearing less of it. So, you know, he's not big on like, you know, fragrances to begin with, but yeah, I won't be repurchasing this. Again, I've returned it before. It's an effective dry shampoo, but like why the smell, fam? We just have a couple of little guys in here. Okay, 1, the Good Molecules Bakuchiol Oil Blend for Dry Skin. This was great. This was so nice. $10 for this little guy. And it was just about as quickly as I burned through that glycolic toner, I burned through this too. I was like, yummy, yummy. And then I was like, oh no, empty. Like I was just shocked this tiny vial was empty when I was using like, you know, entire tablespoons of it on my face every night. But I would definitely repurchase this, you know, if I find myself in the necessity for something like that. Right now, I am just luxuriating and covering myself in hemp oil all the time, so yeah. But I would definitely recommend, if you're like trying to dip a toe in the world of putting oils directly on your face, this is a really, really good place to start. Bakuchiol Oil Blend for Dry Skin. Very good. Oh man, I put on a really heavy lip gloss just as I was about to legit run my mouth for like an hour. How do they keep them from getting the white ring of death on something like Real Housewives? Those girls wear so much lip gloss. Another thought that shouldn't have actually left my head, but there you go. This is the Glossier Eyebrow, Boy Brow in Blonde, and it has served me well. I won't repurchase the blonde though, because it's a little bit warm. It's a little bit gold. And I'm not really blonde anymore. There was like this realization when I was getting my New Jersey driver's license. They're like, hair color. I was like, I've said blonde for the last 12 years. What do I do now? Because like I grew all of my highlights out. Like, the heck color is that? Ash brown, I just learned when I was ordering extensions and I ordered them wrong. Ash brown. So this does not really do anything for me anymore. I like a power brow and my hair is very like ash colored, so I need that cool tone brown. So the Boy Brow in brown works nicely. And finally, spare a thought for all of the balm.coms who have given their lives bravely at the hands of my husband. This is just the one I could find, but I think I use a lot of lip product, and then I realized like this is the only type of lip product that he uses, and that is why I find these cadavers littered everywhere. Like every time I'm looking for a little bit of balm.com, I find them just like squoze to the limit because my husband is indiscriminate about color, flavor, liquid, glitter. Those have some of the same letters in them. He will reach for whatever's nearby. The man has the chappedest lips I've ever seen in my life. And I mean, they're in his car, they're in his bag, they're in his pocket, they're in the laundry, they're in the coffee table, they're in the kitchen, they're on the dining room table, they're in his office, they're everywhere. And I've always like walk up to the kid, you know, and I just kiss him and I'm like, you smell like mango. It's like, oh, you know, dad found the mangobalm.com. So this happens to be an empty one of the coconutbalm.com, but pour one out for all the other ones that will be rolling around in the bottom of my husband's work bag till the end of time. Well, that was fun. Those are all my empty things. I hope that you enjoyed that. As is customary for videos that I do of this nature, I will turn my camera off and immediately stumble on another stash of empty things that I thought I was putting in an intelligent place that would be easy for me to remember and find later. And I will have like a whole new video's worth of empties. I've just learned that that's my process at this point. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you did, there's gonna be more at some point. If you like an empties video and just kind of getting to hang out and vibe with me and just listen to me run my stinking mouth for a while, give the video a thumbs up. If you want to keep hanging out with me on this channel, hit the button down below and subscribe. I would love it if you did. Check out my video from Wednesday if you have the mental space. I love you guys, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate you hanging out with me today, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Bye-bye!